Microchips implanted in human bodies could transform the way we tackle many everyday tasks. Some workers in Sweden are already developing and volunteering to have chips injected into their hands. The technology can make some tasks easier and reduce the amount of personal items employees need to carry. John Blackstone looks at the controversial trend and how it could put your privacy at risk.
In a Stockholm business complex, employees gain access not with key cards, but with a wave of a hand.
This is something that you can use just like a key badge.
At a recent tech conference, Hannes Sjöblad explained how a microchip implanted in his hand makes his life easier. It replaces all the keys and cards that used to clutter his pockets.
I use this many times a day, for example, to unlock my smartphone, to open the door to my office.
Sjöblad calls himself a biohacker.
We biohackers, we think that the human body is a good start, but there is certainly room for improvement.
The first step in that improvement is getting a microchip about the size of a grain of rice slipped under the skin. Suddenly, the touch of a hand is enough to tell the office printer, this is an authorized user.
It felt pretty scary, but at the same time it felt very modern.
The microchips are radio frequency identification tags, the same technology widely used in things like key cards. The chips have been implanted in animals for years to help identify lost pets. Now the technology is moving to humans. A tech startup called Dangerous Things has sold tens of thousands of implant kits for humans, some to tech companies in Europe. Sjöblad even organizes implant parties where people can bond over getting chipped together.
I love gadgets, and now I kind of feel like I'm a gadget myself.
Even a car door can be tweaked to open with a touch, but each touch leaves a digital footprint, and that can compromise privacy. It also seems to be one thing if retailers can track me on my phone to see if they can get me to buy some socks or underwear. It's a different thing if my employer can see where I am, see what I'm doing when I'm off the job.
This is serious stuff. We're talking about a nonstop potential connection to my body. I can't turn it off. I can't put it away. It's in me. That's a big problem.
Even a dedicated biohacker has concerns.
It's very easy to hack a chip implant. So my advice is don't put your life secrets on a chip implant.
Somebody put an implant inside me. I found it this morning.
Back in 2004, the Manchurian Candidate suggested a future where humans are chipped and controlled. We have been warned.
It's about educating the people and giving every person the tools, not only how to use the technology, but more importantly, when it's being used against you.
But biohackers also predict the next generation of chips will save lives by monitoring health and fitness. For now, being chipped means never having to say you're sorry you forgot your key card. For CBS This Morning, John Blackstone, San Francisco.
I'm fascinated by this. I've always thought it was the future, that it would carry your medical records, that it could track your fitness, that
you could buy your groceries with it.
Right, like an Apple Pay or something.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical. I'm scared of becoming a cyborg. But I'm skeptical. I'm scared of becoming a cyborg. But I'm skeptical. I'm scared of becoming a cyborg. But if you guys go first, I'll join you. If you guys go first, I'll join you.
The 21st century is a digital book. Your bank records, medical histories, voting patterns, emails, phone calls, your damn SAT scores. Zola's algorithm evaluates people's past to predict their future.
What then?
And the inside helicarrier scratched people off the list. A few million at a time.
Technology has advanced to an extent where we use finger scans and face IDs full-fledgedly. But when it comes to implanting chips under the skin, it doesn't seem to have reached its full potential. The act still feels like a gimmick rather than a modern robotic human. And such is the scenario when this technology has already existed for many, many decades. Now, would you ever get an electronic chip under your skin? The chips planted under the skin tend to carry the RFID technology. Now, RFID, or radio frequency identification, enables technologies like tap to pay and subway cards. So in case you don't want to carry your bags and bank cards to pay, you can have such chips installed under your skin. One can also install sensors and avoid carrying keys to home and unlocking cars. But an important point to note is that such technologies do not work like how they would, for example, in a Mission Impossible film. In fact, they don't work half the time and are still a bit far from being successfully used. Another integral drawback of such...
Good, you okay?
It's not bad. 77 pound 3 pence, yeah?
Yes, that's right, yes. Okay. Doesn't work. Oh, there we go.
How do you do it?
Magic.
Huh?
Magic.
Ah, magic.
But ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, the future is already here. The future has begun. It's a new system. It changes us. Because it's a fusion of our physical, digital, and biological spheres. It's an integration of those spheres. Just think of sensors planted into our brains. The opportunities are immense. And we have to prepare ourselves already now.
No, praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh. Bahasham Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Whomever you may be, wherever you may be, Shalom, Yasharallah, Shalom. Right, we're not going to be here too long. It's going to be real brief, straight to the point, hopefully. And you just saw a series of clips, and there's many more clips that you can go into and research for yourself, which you should. For you new believers, or someone just by chance you may have heard. You go and research these things for yourself. This technology is here. All right, it hasn't fully been rolled out all the way, but it's it's out there. Okay. And majority, if not all those clips that I played are actually old. They're old, okay? Save for the one with Dr. Evil in it. That one's actually old, but it was more recent. But, the point being that you can research these things for yourself and be very careful of these, different camps out there who are telling you that it is not the little device spoken of in Revelation 13 chapter. But what we have here on the screen, because, it's extremely important that you understand and know what this thing is. All right. So this is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 28. It says, "Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord Yahweh." Now, cuttings is straightforward, right? But we'll put it up on the screen anyways. All right. Cuttings, the word is sharat. Okay. And it says incision or cut, right? Straightforward. Well, we'll see what the root word says. Right, same word, sharat. To incise, scratch, tattoo, cut. To make incision. To be scratched or lacerated, to be cut. As a matter of fact, the point we already understand, but just to drive it all the way home, let's get the word incision. All right, an incision, it says also known as a surgical wound, is a cut made through the skin during surgery. Now, you may not undergo some surgery because the process, we assume, will be fairly quick, all right, at their sea-hipping stations, all right? But it's still straightforward, a cut made through the skin, you see? The size of the incision depends on the type of surgery being performed and can be small or large. Incisions can sometimes break open, either along the entire cut or just part of it, and the surgeon may choose not to close it with stitches. All right, so it's pretty much there. What we need, a cut made through the skin. All right. So, and that's why is that important? Let's go back. Okay. It says, ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. All right, your flesh. Okay, your body basically. And the scriptures tell you, we're going to get it, that you are the temple of the Lord. So it says, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. So let's get this word marks. All right. H7085. And the word there is kwai. Okay. Kwai. What does it say? Incision. Is that not what we just read there? Incision, imprintment, tattoo, mark. All right. I don't think we need this word here. Okay. No, we don't need this word. Excuse me. But there you go. Incision, kwai. Incision. To do what? To cut into your flesh. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. Matter of fact, let's get the word print, just out of curiosity. Nathan. It's like it says Nathan. Okay, wait. Yep. To get put set. I still don't necessarily need that one. Just want to look into that. But that main, excuse me, that main word there was marks. All right. Once again, it says incision, imprintment, tattoo, mark. Okay. Look, it says in incision or Nash. All right. Same as H69. That says. Okay, that was the other word. Okay. So we don't need that. So the point is made there. All right. Marks and incision and cut. Okay. And so what is he going to do? He's going to cut into your skin. But is this not in the law? Not to do this for you Israelites? All right, so like for a little interruption there. All right, so anyways, it says, ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. All right, this is commanded of you Israelites, okay? I was about to grab real quick Deuteronomy 7:6 to back up my point here. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. And it says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy God. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And it's talking about you Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Out of all the 18 nations of the earth, the Lord chose you, okay? So these commandments are for us to go by. And because we transgress those laws, statutes, and commandments is why we fell under the curses. All right. So with that being read, let's go to, as a matter of fact, I was just mentioning that. So let's go and get this. 1 Corinthians 3:16, it says, know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. All right. When you awaken to this truth, your spirit was quickened. All right. By way of hearing this word, it was reactivated within you. Because, you know, basically, as the scriptures say, the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. If you were a prophet in the ancient days, you're going to come back and be a prophet now. Same spirit in a different body. Okay. If you were 2/3 back then, you come back and be a 2/3 now. If you were part of the 1/3 back then, you will be a part of the 1/3 now. All right. It's only about the elect. Okay. But when you heard this truth, your spirit was quickened. And you want to learn and know more. And that's what you did. You grew. Okay. So, and the scriptures talk about a third temple. All right. And the third temple is not physical. We have physical, actual built up temples back in the days. But in these latter days, the temple of the Lord is spiritual and it's within you. Okay. It says, know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. So it's telling you that you belong to the Lord. All right, basically straightforward. You belong to the Lord. Okay, and as an individual who say they're in this truth, all right, that means there's a certain thing required of you. All right, we can't do what the 2/3 do. We shouldn't want to do anyways. But my point is, you know, your life, you know, pretty much changes. I'm not saying changes for the better as like financially, or you know, you're gonna get rich or whatever the case may be. But we mean mentally and spiritually. All right, your life changes. All right, over time, coming into this truth. All right, and one of the main ways that you defile your temple is to take this man's devices. And there's going to be a lot of things that are put upon this world as pressure. As a matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. See if I can get down there. Okay, Revelation 3. Right, Revelation 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. What is patience? Right, upon it says steadfastness, constancy, endurance. Okay, so patiently enduring, because you'll suffer in this ministry. All right, some people think everything is just going to be lovey-dovey when they hear about the truth. No, and things seemingly get worse for you, but that's part of this truth. Okay, you want to be that gold tried in the furnace. Okay, it says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which is the mandatory implementation of that RFID micro CHIP. Okay, it says which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And you can get this word world here. And so it says oikomene. And what is it? The inhabited earth, right? All the inhabitants of the earth, the whole inhabited earth, the world. You see? And that's always interesting. Number 2, when it says the Roman Empire, all the subjects of the empire. But America is the revival of the ancient Roman Empire. So I always find that one very interesting. Okay. Because we're basically back under those, seemingly those Romans all over again, which they're basically Edomites. So you get my point. All right. So yeah, the whole entire world is gonna be put into this press. All right. Formulated by these so-called elite. All right, these wicked elite banking families. Okay. Put the pressure on all the earth to try to drive them into taking their digital technology. Okay, and that gives them full autonomy over every aspect of your life from a remote location. Okay. So let me see here. And then we were about to go to, I probably just could have pulled it up. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Okay. Verse 4, it says, who oppose it. So in fact, let's start at verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. And that man of sin be revealed in the son of perdition. Be revealed the son of perdition, which is Esau Edom, right? He's known as the devil in the Bible. He's known as the wicked in the Bible, all right? Lord of wickedness. And he's also known there compared to being as death, okay? And we are in the valley of the shadow of death, which is America, Babylon the Great. Okay, for those of us that live here, because not all the Israelites are here. All right, but for those of us that live here in Babylon the Great, we're in the valley of the shadow of death. All right, so it says, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, all right, above all that is called God, because the Heavenly Father is the one supreme being. Okay, he's the only living power. All these other so-called gods are false gods, and they're idols. All right, it says, or that is worshipped, because all praise, honor, and glory goes back to the Heavenly Father, but he wants that praise to go to him. So that he, as God, you see, playing God, they have a God complex, sitting in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Okay, and that's through his digital system, his digital means. But how does he sit in the temple of God? As a matter of fact, let's get the word temple. We never go into the word temple. I'm pretty sure it's straightforward. Nahas, I guess that's how you say it. It says, used of the temple at Jerusalem, but only of the sacred edifice or sanctuary itself, consisting of the holy place and the holy of holies. In classical Greek, it is used of the sanctuary or cell of the temple, where the image of God was placed, which is distinguished from the whole enclosure. Now, there's no image of God, but there is the Ark of the Covenant as acting as the mercy seat that was in our ancient temples. All right, but anyways, here we go. There's the main one right there. Number 3, metaphorically, the spiritual temple consisting of the saints of all ages joined together by and in the Messiah. But the key thing here is, who are the saints? Because this is not dealing with everybody. The saints are the Israelites. Okay, and we can prove that. As a matter of fact, I wasn't planning on doing that, but let's do it real quick since we mentioned it. we'll make a quick connection here. Right, Psalms 50:5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. So the saints made covenants with the Lord by blood sacrifice, right? So let's go over here to Exodus 24. And I don't want to read all of it, but I guess we'll just, yeah. Exodus 24. Let's just start at 6. I usually start up at 4. It says, and Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience of the people. And they said, all that Yahweh had said will we do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words. As a matter of fact, I should have started at 4 because it tells you who the people are. All right. In verse 4, it says, and Moses wrote all the words of Yahweh and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. See? So this is why it's extremely important for you to know and understand, this digital system in this age that Esau is attempting to bring upon this earth. As a matter of fact, let's get one more. Okay, just to wrap everything up, or bring it full circle. Psalms 148:13. Let them praise the name of Yahweh, for his name alone is excellent. His glory is above the earth and heaven. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even the children of Israel. Connects those two verses there, as well as Psalms 50:5. A people near unto him praise ye Yahweh, because we read Deuteronomy 7:6. He chose you to himself. And we also read, Leviticus 19:28, right? And it's commanded of you not to imprint any marks on your skin and so on and so forth. No cuttings in your flesh, no tattoos and things of that nature. If you got them in the past, don't get them anymore. Okay? So that main cutting or incision into your flesh will be Esau's micro CHIP. All right? So metaphorically, the spiritual temple consisting of the saints of all ages joined together by and in the Messiah, which also is known as the congregation. All right, or the church. Okay, so it says, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God. And if you take his device, that is how he sits in the temple of God. Because remember, we read in 1 Corinthians 3:16, ye are the temple of the Lord. Okay, you don't belong to yourself. You don't have free will or anything. You belong to the Lord. So if you take this man's device, he's entered into the Lord's temple. All right. So let me see here. Let me see. I want to jump down and get a couple more. All right. So it says, even as we started, it says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, verse 8, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right. And he has his prophets out teaching right now about way the spirit of his mouth. Okay. This gospel shall be preached into the four corners of the earth, and then the end shall come. Okay, this truth is changing this world, man. All right. It says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. That's Yahushua. Okay. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, which is talking about these devils, these Edomites. They're the ones who's coming are after the working of Satan, because they commune with spirits and things of that nature. They do necromancy and, witchcraft and magic and sorcery and all these things on the left-hand side, not knowing that these things still come from the Lord, just on the left-hand side, because the right-hand side is the righteous side, right? It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, all right? And that's going into his, as a matter of fact, we'll wrap it up. Like I said, I want to be brief. That's going into his C-hips, man. All right. The regular C-hip is one thing. All right. What at a base level keeps you from buying or selling unless you have it. Okay. But it's deeper. He had control over a lot of things in your life, like that one clip we played, which it wasn't important. And that was actually a scene from Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And that was a rooftop scene. Okay, he was saying a couple things there as regarding to the movie, but there's a couple things there where he mentioned how the 21st century is a digital age or something like that, he said. Then he talked about, your medical records, something about your SAT scores or something like that. But all the things that are not necessary for them to know, and all the things that will be impossible for them to know unless it was in some kind of system. They'll be able to know because it's some things are in your system now. I mean, are in their system now, you know, like your medical records or things of that nature. But it's different when it's taken digital because the whole digital system will be funneled through them. So there's no hiding anything from them. So there'll be you know, secrets that have nothing to do with these people that they'll be able to know about you. And they'll have just, you know, an immense amount of control over you. You will be perpetual slaves, right? That's no joke, no lie about that. If you take his device, he will be able to control you. And you may think it sounds, you know, wild and crazy now, but if you understand the extent of what this the C-hipping, this whole system can do, you'd understand it more, right? But yeah, what was I going? Oh yeah, Revelation 13, right? Because he has the regular C-hip, and then he has the brain C-hip. You know, Neuralink, Elon Musk, you know, Synchron, the Orb, Alter Ego, all right, so on and so forth. These ones that go into your brain. And, you know, these are the lying signs and wonders because they're fixed, so-called fixed body parts that were, you know, unable to use. Somebody's got I don't know, they'll probably be able to stop shaking. Somebody's got, I don't know, Tourette's, they'll be able to stop that. Somebody's got paralyzed legs, they'll be able to fix that, right? Those are the lying signs and wonders completed by his brain C-hip. And the control comes from his other C-hip, all right, the one that goes into your hand. Revelation 13:16, he calls all, both small and great, which you pour free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603.6, which is 666. That number, which is, it does, you know, it is Esau's number, but it will be embedded in his UPC code, which will be embedded into his micro C-hip. I'm pretty sure, even though it's not talked about, all right, but it will probably also be into these brain C-hips as well, okay? And then these are the things that they want to put inside you Israelites and enter into your temple, all right? And that's what makes it an idolatrous image, because it's idolatry. You're worshiping Esau as your God, your power, your savior, your Lord, your whatever, okay? And so that's idolatry. So you're forsaking the Lord. You're making the conscious decision to forsake the Lord, right, for this man on the earth, a devil, right? So going back up in that word mark, which these other camps, some of these other camps don't want to go into because it says too much, all right? Charagma, a stamp or imprinted mark. All right, then we read in Leviticus 19:28, that incision, you see? So what happens is they cut into your body, all right? It says, of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah, which there are many anti-Messiahs. If you're against this gospel and its truth, you're an anti-Messiah, okay? And if you take his C-hip or his brain C-hip, all right, they've stamped themselves into your hand or their forehead, all right, and entered into your temple, and you've forsaken the Holy One of Israel, okay? And you've now become an anti-Messiah, and the Lord's going to destroy you. So that the mark branded upon horses, okay? And that's pretty much going into, you know, the slavery aspect of it, because you will be a slave to a banking family, right? Depending on where you live, you know, it'll be the same C-hip, but depending on where you live, it'll probably depend on what banking family owns you, okay? Because all they see you is as cattle. It says theme, carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images, and we just spoke about that aspect of it, all right? So there's no getting around this. There's no denying what this thing is. If you can't see it, that means you just don't want to see it. And we get the word karax, right? A pale, stake, a palisade, all right? Basically, this is going into his device that he's going to use to put the C-hip into people, all right? Which would probably be an epidermic needle or something like that, or his, you know, some kind of C-hip station. However that's going to roll out, it's going to roll out, but he's going to have to inject it into you, okay? Which they've showed that. Like I said, you can look this up. People that have this now, they show people using, you know, he's pinching the skin, just like when a nurse gives you a shot or something, okay? They'll pinch the skin to take off some of the pressure, okay? That's exactly what they do. They pinch the skin, and puncture the skin, right? And basically they're imprinting a mark upon you because they're injecting you with a little device, man. There's no denying what it is, man. So that's how you, because when you go into these scriptures for yourself and you read it and you understand the breakdown of it, you see these other camps are lying to you. And here's the word grapho, all right? We talked about that 666, right? That's going to be written in this UPC code, which will be in all of his devices that he plans to put under people's skins, man. See? So basically it means to write, man. Okay? So there's no denying it, man. Anybody denying this is a liar or they just don't understand exactly what it is. The Lord has their eyes blinded. And probably both. Okay? So like I said, I wanted to be brief. Just another See Here Brick video. Alright? Because this thing is here, man. And it's about to roll out on a major scale. Because it's most definitely already here. But on a major scale is where they're going to take it next. You know, and that's all going to be on the Lord's time. Because everything is controlled by him. But we'll leave it at that. Lord willing, you will edify. Till next time, Yahshua, I'm going to say, Shalom.